What's going on, everyone? It's Chelsea D, and you are now tuned in to Kicking It with Chelsea D. I'm here at Vincent's Pizzeria right here in Jersey City, and today we're going to be chatting it up, talking about hip hop with none other than Jersey City native himself, Jules Pierrot. I said it right? I
Yeah,
said it right?
you got it. You got it.
Okay, cool. Because we was fighting about how to say his last name right. So let's just hop right into it. Now, Jules and myself, we both met at Marist High School, graduated from there as well. So basically, just take us through your journey from Marist to where you are now.
That's like you talking about like 8 years, right? Almost. Um,
You ain't that old.
nah, kind of. Nah, I'm not that old.
Oh, but a lot has. It's
You
almost a
talking about
decade.
yeah,
It's
like,
almost a
no,
decade.
I'm 2 years
But
to like 10. You feel me? Like
right, but
that's
it's
crazy when you
almost
think
a
about it.
decade of you making
Yeah,
moves.
decade of growth,
A decade of growth.
right? It's like that
Right?
transition period, right? Like from marriage, being home with your people, being in Jersey City, a multicultural high school at that, most diverse high school at that.
Right.
Then going off to Alabama, not knowing a soul, right? And it's like it's those times when you leave high school and you're thinking that you know exactly what you're gonna do with your life, but then God has a way to changing your purpose like this, right? So I know some people play sports to the sense of I played baseball in high school, right? And you think that's what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, but some people understand that the sport, the gift you had in the sports, only to get you a certain destination. The destination point might not be the pros, it might be just to school, for then you could tie in the other talents and that really could bring it out of you. So when it came for me, it started with baseball, they jumped into TV, media, and radio, and event promotion and planning. And then from there, that's my just some of the skills I learned just from being in Jersey City, right? Like just growing up in Jersey City is a hustle mentality, regardless. Like you have to get it yourself. There was always multiple ways of income streams outside of what I'm saying, the typical selling weed or what I'm saying, the illegal stuff. There was also legal ways to make money. But my legal kind of wasn't legal, but was legal was like selling mixtapes, right? I had my cousin DJ Midnight who introduced me to hip hop. He used to give me a CDs to sell in the school, like word. He said, "All right, CDs for $5, I get two, he get three. It's a quick flip for me." You get what I'm saying? And I think just learning specific lessons, just growing up in Jersey City, was able to when I went to Alabama, was just to maneuver, right? The things I loved about my city, I just wanted to show it to the world and then show it to my campus, being like the only kid from Jersey there, and not that many from the East Coast. I feel like it was like my duty to show you, like, yo, this is the East Coast, this is Jersey, this is how we get down. So from that was came from, like I said, hosting TV shows, doing events on campus, doing my own private events, like Who Got Bar Cypher competition was a similar cypher competition that we took between all the colleges at Huntsville, Alabama. We put together in one boutique. Did like the Juice Hip Hop exhibition, like DJ showcase, MCs, dance, art, clothing, every element of hip hop in one event. So anything I just seen in Jersey, I just wanted to give it to the people in my school, and I think that's why I delivered.
Okay. So I'm basically just give us the reality of Huntsville, Alabama, so we can put in perspective like what it took for you to actually bring that hip hop culture from Jersey City, and then basically like take it to the South where things are spread out and they may be doing hip hop, but they're definitely doing it differently from how we do things up north, right? So take us through that.
It was a melting pot of it when I went to Alabama, right? For something, when you think I've been thinking rural roads, not thinking nothing there, cows was extra, but that wasn't the case in Huntsville, Alabama. It was like a city base. It was really tech heavy too. Like you have like NASA's there, so it was a lot of just tech based in Huntsville, Alabama. Then we had like 3 to 4 universities. We had Oakwood University, 7-day Adventist, that was all African American, HBCU, but for 7-day Adventist. You had cats from the Caribbean, East Coast, West Coast. Then you had Alabama A&M University, where I went. You had cats from Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis. I have people from Alaska, some people from the East Coast. So it was more of a melting pot, but just my side of hip hop wasn't being told. Well, what I consider hip hop wasn't being told. But I knew people who liked the type of hip hop I like, but we had nowhere to come together.
There was no outlet.
Nah, not at all. It's like you see all this talent around you, but there's nowhere for them to go. So we're oblivious to it. It's like, yo, somebody needs some traction, right? Some business needs some traffic to come in. We need a place, so let's find a place to do that with. And it came out like rocking first with Creative Soul, the first streetwear boutique in Huntsville, Alabama, or in Alabama in general. And having my good friend Isaac Fitch, who used to work as one of the first interns, and building with him, right? It wasn't just I'm coming from Jersey, I'm about to show you what to do.
Right.
I had to connect from somebody who was from that city. You get what I'm saying? Like I had to get the sense of what that city was about. And my man Isaac Fitch, he introduced me to Huntsville on a different scale outside of for campus life. Like he was from the city, but I was more active on campus than he was. But he did go to school with me. It was the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? And then that was the easiest transition because I had him to dialogue with. I'm like, yo, this is gonna work. This idea is gonna work. Like, that's not gonna work here. Maybe switch it up this way and that way, right? I'll come with the big ideas. And he'll break my shit down like this. Like,
Right.
this could work. This maybe can't work. And that's just how we played off it. And then from there, we just kept curating culture, just how we seen fit, right? It wasn't trying to force nothing OD crazy. You're just truly being yourself. Let yourself just give it to the people. And when you're authentic to you and the people can feel that, they're going to react to you. And I think that's just what really helped me and my peoples when we was in Alabama.
Yeah, it definitely sounds dope. And I think like you hit like the importance of breaking down your ideas, and then also to like pretty much like bouncing your ideas off of other people so that you can actually get the greatness from whatever fruit you're trying to put out.
So, like, you need them people around you to really keep you grounded, make sure you're not going OD. There's some people who's not going to understand your vision, but the ones who do, who care for you, let you know if it's whack, if it's not whack. But then you also got to be hindsight, like they maybe don't know where you want to take it. So you got to be very selective to what you listen and what you take into your ideas. But everything you know is for the greater purpose. So you just copy and paste. Like, that makes sense. That don't make sense. All right, let me put this here. And then my biggest thing was I went around campus to random people and asked them about their idea. And that's how I did my market research. Like, yo,
Right.
what you think about this? How much would you pay for that?
See their reaction.
See their reaction. I just didn't know how to base a lot of things of what I did off that. You know what I'm saying?
Jewels dropping jewels, y'all.
The Juice Hip Hop Exhibition is where all the elements of hip hop meet. From the DJs to the dancers to the MCs to the artists to the beat makers to the streetwear designers. Anyway, you really talking about culture from the original from 1970s to now, we meet under one roof. It's about really putting all those elements of the culture together in one room for one night, for one show, for one culture. That's the bottom line, yo. Good vibes, good energy, good people, good music, great dancers, great artists, great MCs, great DJs, great hip hop. We're the Garden State. We produce Juice, the hip hop exhibition. Jersey been thirsty for this.
Take us all the way from having the Juice Hip Hop Exhibition out in Alabama and then bringing it all the way to Brooklyn, New York. Tell us about that transition. Brooklyn to the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival, to be specific.
Faith and opportunity. I think is the best way to describe that. When I was in school, I hated internships. It's like the weirdest thing. I was like the kid who was on the stand base, like, I don't need an internship. I'd rather create my own internship. And then my mindset when I was younger, it was a little naive, but I just thought this is the way I was supposed to be, was that if I created something great, the person who was supposed to give me the internship would just want to bond with me just off the level I was creating my own. And that's just how my mindset was when I was in school. So I really didn't do no internships. But in 2013, I was coming back home for this summer. And then around Jersey City, like we speak around all the time, there's not that much like media people in Jersey City that I could connect with. So I remember in 2011, one of my best friends went to a festival in Brooklyn. That's the year Kanye came out. And he gave me a call like, yo, Kanye West is out here in Brooklyn under the bridge, whoop-de-whoop. So, yo, where you at? At the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival. I said, yo, what's that? He said, you ain't hip hop enough. Hung up his phone on me. I felt some type of way a little bit like, what you mean I ain't hip hop enough? But so I was coming back in 2013. I was like, I need to do some type of internship. So I looked up the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival. I figured I was an independently owned company by a husband and wife, West and Ebony Jackson. Like, that's what I want to be a part of. I know big corporation, small boutique independent, but they create moments of a little bit that they do have, with the resource that they do have. And you know, it's like simply they say the term for the culture, but they literally live the culture. And I want to be part of something like that. I interned for 1 year, worked my butt off. You know what I'm saying? Went from an intern to running, hosting like not hosting, but helping curate 2 events. And then from there, the following year, did the same exact thing. I graduated college. I said, yo, I need to do something. I need a job. Like, so it's the situation. I want to come back and work with you. And then he just made me director of marketing communications on the spot. I said, okay. So you're just going to, all right. So.
Which is awesome, but you put the work in, though. You put the work in.
You know what I'm saying? I think because I was quiet, I just did the work, right? It wasn't about, I do this in Alabama, I did this in Alabama. That wasn't the case. Like, what do you need from me? And let's get this accomplished. And I think I showed that my first year. So going into my second year, I showed them the work I did in Alabama from leaving camp. So that was like the first time I did Juice Hip Hop Exhibition. We did South by Southwest. We do like a mansion concert in less than an hour. It had like 25 acts. So like I'm just showing all these things we just created in this 1 year. And so I went back to him and was like, so what's up? He was like, yo, I direct the marketing communications. I was like, I bet. So I'm back in there, and it's like, there's people who's older than me, who was there before me, at least that year. I'm like, so I'm over them. I'm like, they have way more experience than me. They're older than me. They're college grads, some of them. But you want me to manage these two individuals. But they came more like big brothers to me, right? Like they embraced me in. Even though I worked for the festival longer, they were in their roles longer than I was. Because they started maybe out in like April. I came back like mid-May going into June. For me to just jump in and to have that role, it's like, some people be like, whoa, you come in stepping on my toes. That wasn't the case. I was like, yo, let's build. Let's make sure this
As it should be.
this year's festival is going to be the greatest one we could put together. And that's what happened. And then from there, that's the year we brought out like Jay-Z, J. Cole, Jay Electronica. That was that year. So going into the next year, that's a year under my belt is management base. And I was like, yo, Wes, he was like, yo, what you think about doing the Juice Hip Hop exhibition for the festival? I said, yes. 'Cause I was like, of course. But that was on my back end side, that was like always the plan. That was like, how do I get at least who got bars or juice a part of this festival? Right? But it's also just taking time for that seed to develop, right? It's not just trying to reap what you sow too quick. Nah, be patient, my brother. Like, put your work in. You reap what you sow. Woosah. You get what I'm saying? So, and then that's what happened. That's what I say is like faith and just opportunity. Because West took a chance on me. He didn't have to be like, yo, add your joint to the festival. He was already good. He been doing this for 10 years already. Like, why add me into it?
But not to cut you off, just to chime in, because I think, like, yes, he did take a chance on you, but at the same time, it was a chance that he felt he most likely could trust. Simply because you put the work in and you showed, you know what I'm saying? You showed that you were capable of handling that capacity of work, I want to say, so to speak, right? So I think like that's important for, I want to say our age range, millennials in general, when trying to be an entrepreneur and put whatever you're trying to put out there or curate whatever you're trying to curate, and expecting for someone to trust you immediately off the back, or feeling like you're entitled. Because sometimes millennials, we feel like we're entitled to things that we really aren't. Like, you really have to put the work in. So I just wanted to like place emphasis on that. Like, you put the work in for those 2 years before you were given that, title as director of marketing communications. So, which is dope.
It's like you be confident but stay humble and listen, right? Sometimes we jump the gun because we have so much information in the world on Google that we know exactly what we're talking about. But there's people who's been there longer than us, who lived it longer than us, that we could build from, right? We also about this generational gap that's on quote unquote in hip hop. Nah, we need to converse. Like, if you don't like this certain type of music, but still talk to that artist, understand where their mindset is, because as a community, we have to grow together. That's even like, I think that's why West liked the Juice Hip Hop exhibition. It's like, we brought the youth side of the culture out. It was like, how do we get the best young DJs, dancers, MCs, artists, clothing designers, all in this one space. So now you bring a different audience to the festival, different acts to the festival, and you're building out more horizontally than more than going up. You know what I'm saying? So now the festival is spread it out from the Hip Hop Institute, Dummy Clap Film Festival, the Juice Hip Hop Exhibition on Friday, and Saturday is like the finale concert, the big day. So adding us into that Friday slot was just perfect because like this is the introduction to the entertainment. You learn on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday and Saturday you getting lit, but you getting some good hip hop at the same time. So that transition wasn't hard because this is what I've been doing for a couple years. Now it's just like show and prove. Like, you gave me that chance, let me get that real quick. Like there was times like I didn't have my lineup done. Like there was like deep into like maybe May. Like I didn't have my lineup done April. I didn't get my lineup done, but I was just still confident with the idea.
Successful.
You gotta be confident with the ideas regardless. He looked at me like he was nervous. I asked questions. He was like, I don't know if it's gonna work out. Da da da. I don't like giving updates. OD. Like I'm way more action based. So it's like this is done. I got it. This is done. I got it. This is done. I got it. And then he took that. So he took the risk. I put the work in. The team with the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival put the work in, from Trinice to Jimmy that first year, and we made it work, man.
Which is so dope. And so now we're here, Garden State, all right? The Juice Hip Hop exhibition is coming here, and it's going to be in April, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So just tell us really quick about your label, cultural label, right? Moxie 1973. Just tell us about that really quick, and then just talk about the Juice Hip Hop exhibition coming.
I know like it's always known for like to brag about their brands. There's something.
It's not bragging. It's promoting.
I like the quote by Napoleon Hill. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it, right?
Right.
Juice is the first introduction. So I can't tell you what Moxie has done in the past. It's like that's before Moxie. Comes to the Juice Hip Hop exhibition, you'll understand Moxie from that. And that's what I really want to say about that brand. Like, if you understand what we believe and what we do, come to the Juice Hip Hop exhibition April 1st. You'll understand what Moxie represents. You'll understand what Juice truly is.
Folks, make sure you get out there in April, Juice Hip Hop exhibition. This was Kicking It with Chelsea D, and I hope you've learned something about what's going on in Jersey City. All right.